So, for the update this week on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I've actually made quite a bit of progress into completing the game. All 5 stages are now playable. They have the physics on all of the platforms, so that's fully completed. And I've created the enemies for 4 of the stages. They have, in stage 1, you have the women and the kids. Stage 2, you deal with a lot of the tough guys and bouncing barrels. Stage 3, you have the Mad Bomber, the infamous guy from the original, although he's been toned down quite a bit. We've got in stage 4 the hunters, and in stage 5 we will have the gravediggers and potentially another enemy. I'm not sure yet. I have not finished completing the AI for this stage. The other thing that I've done is I've created 3 separate endings for the game so far. You have an ending sequence for when Hyde overtakes Jekyll, the normal ending, where Jekyll arrives at the church, and then I've also added in the good ending from the original game, although I changed the conditions for unlocking it, because in the original game, to get a good ending, you have to allow Hyde to overtake Jekyll, which for 99% of the game, that's game over. So what I've done was I've modified the rules, the conditions of setting this up, so that you don't have to violate the core rule. You can actually follow everything that you've learned up until that point and still get the good ending. Another thing that I've been working a lot on is the initial play testing that I got from some other people was very unbalanced. Certain levels were too easy one time and far too hard another, which meant random numbers for spawning the enemies, it didn't work. Sadly, would have been so much easier. So I've taken the idea and the algorithms, basically, from Left 4 Dead's director. What this does is it tracks the way the player is actually moving around, how well he's doing, as well as what has spawned so far, so that it can put out a much more balanced setting of enemies. One of the things that actually makes this tricky is that in the original Left 4 Dead, you know how much of a threat something is. A smoker is always this much of a threat. A boomer is always this much of a threat. The problem with this is that a lot of the enemies are no threat except near another guy. So I'm having a little bit of trouble balancing this, but hopefully that's something I'll get worked out soon enough. And finally, I'm going to try to get this game up and playable online within the next week or so that you guys can give it a shot. Hopefully I can get enough testing on here to actually get this fully balanced by the final, or by the end of the month. But we'll see. I'll see you guys next week.